My whole life, I have lived with the belief that I am somebody who hits the snooze rather than somebody who gets straight out of bed in the morning. Not even just hitting the snooze once, but hitting it 2 or even 3 times before I get out of bed. I have conditioned myself to believe that I will always, without exception, be tired when I wake up in the morning, no matter how many hours of sleep I get. I go to bed with that as my expectation, and thus I wake up with that as my reality. Now, this may seem really minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but we all tightly hold on to some kind of negative belief about ourselves because we've conditioned ourselves to. We enter certain situations, predict we're going to act in a way that's concordant with our negative belief about ourselves, and thus we act in that way. And this becomes a cycle of just reaffirming that initial negative belief you have about yourself. So how do we even break this seemingly unstoppable cycle? How do we escape our own self-deprecation? Well, the first step I would take is to answer the following questions as you listen to them, or if you would like, you can journal about them. Here is the first question. Is there a certain negative habit or characteristic that you just accept as part of yourself without necessarily questioning it, or questioning where it came from? And then the second question would be to ask yourself, why do you believe you're maintaining this negative habit or characteristic? Pause this video and answer those 2 questions, and then listen to this. Don't believe every single thing your thoughts tell you about yourself. Just like we are taught to think critically about the information that we see from the external world, you should also think critically about the information that is coming from your internal world as well. There's a common phenomenon where humans become addicted to putting ourselves down. It becomes second nature and habitual. Self-deprecation is often a reflex that our brains have been programmed to employ to keep us safe, or what we think is safe, to prevent us from reaching past our comfort zones. We believe that we are safer if we avoid certain situations, and so we put ourselves down to avoid those situations. Now is when we try and reprogram our brains and say no to that reflex. Try and remind yourself that your brain is only putting yourself down to try and keep you safe. The second step I would take is to broaden our view and focus on the big picture. Now, this is a question I often always ask you guys in my videos, but it is one that is really impactful if you truly think about it. How much more in life could you achieve if these negative habits or characteristics weren't holding you back? How would your actions change if you did not believe these negative things about yourself? Maybe you avoid trying a new activity because you believe you're bad at learning new things. Maybe you miss out on watching a life-changing sunrise because you hit the snooze, like me, and you inherently believe that you're somebody who hits the snooze. Understand and feel how these seemingly small choices have a large impact on your life's trajectory. The third step involves taking action. Accumulate evidence as to why that negative belief that you have about yourself is not true, and it's just an example of your brain trying to keep you safe. The more evidence that you collect, the easier it'll be to dismantle those beliefs that you have about yourself. And then write it down. Write down every piece of evidence that shows that that negative belief about yourself is not true. It's essentially just you against you. It's you versus you. And in this situation, you want to accumulate evidence against yourself. You want to build a case against those negative beliefs that you have conditioned yourself to believe. Try and prove yourself wrong and get on the side of your future and better self. Those are the 3 steps, but there is one additional extremely important note, and that is to believe. Believe that you have the power within you to break the negative conditioning. At the end of the day, if you think that you can, you can. And if you think that you can't, you can't. So think that you can. I hope you enjoyed this brief video. I just wanted to share 3 things that I believe help you dismantle your negative conditioning. And I know my example of hitting the snooze isn't necessarily a huge example, but it is something that impacts me every day because I wake up feeling tired, because I hold the assumption that I will wake up feeling tired. I hope you were able to find one takeaway given the lifestyle that you live and the conditions that you face. And as a reminder, modifications of any of this advice is okay. You are doing something that you can do, and that is something that should be praised. I know I make it sound easy in this video, but it is not an easy process. This is something that will take time, and that is okay. Be patient with yourself. Support yourself along the journey. We're all in this together. How about you leave a comment down below about a negative belief that you hold about yourself and how you're gonna go about trying to eradicate that. Because we're all here to help each other, and I would love to build a nice, loving community that offers a helping hand to each other. Also, let me know what kind of content you are interested in seeing. I'm very curious about your opinion on what videos you like more, what videos you like less, and I would love to implement those things into my content. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you on the flippity flop. Peace.